Hi guys, welcome back to Texas Latino Comic Con. We have an amazing panel just for you guys. A upcoming universe of amazing Latina artists, creators, uh, crossing national borders. We're really super excited. I have here my co-moderator, Laura.
Hello, guys, again. And now the women will take the panel.
Totalmente lo que vamos a hacer. Y las mexicanas, ¿verdad? Orgullo mexicano. Que vamos a introducir con Kaden. How are you, Kaden?
Hi, I'm great. Thank you so much for having us.
Excellent. Yes, and then I'm going to go for Gloria. Gloria, saludos.
Hola.
And Mirel, how are you? ¿Cómo estás?
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
And Sandra, I know Sandra's having some technical issues for.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'm trying. Yeah, my camera's working on this end, but I don't know why I can't see it on online. So hi, hello. I'm Sandra Romero.
You're good. We're just going to flow with it. And we have.
Okay.
Amanda. How are you, Amanda?
I'm great. Thanks so much for having us.
Yeah, thanks for being a part of this amazing panel. Yeah, we're really excited that we get the creative force.
Yes.
Okay, so Cadence, for those that are new, especially here in Texas, can you introduce a La Brava universe to us, please?
Yes. So it's a series of 5 Latino superheroes. They're all have their own graphic novels, so their origin story, and they're all different types of Latino. They're all different types of Latina superheroes. So different Latinas. So we have like our Chicana, which is Druca. We have our Mexicana, which is Jalisco. We have our Boricua, Cubana. Oh shoot! Hold on. Let me lower this one. Okay, sorry. I'm live streaming it on my phone. And so they're all from all over. Our Dominicana, which is Bandita from New York. So just different regions, and it's all of us. And then they all come together and they form the team A La Brava, as you can see there. And so that's the 6th book, is when they're a team. So that's Jalisco, she's Locorico, she's our Mexicana. And then it goes through all of them. Different origin stories, different social justice issues that they deal with. It was the femicide. She just came out last year. That one is one of my favorites, of course. Yeah. Amanda. Most of my artists are here on the panel. So please ask them lots of questions, because they're the reason it looks so good. I take a lot of credit, but it's really not me. I do not draw or color or anything. So definitely other credits to all of them. Hi, Sandra.
No, of course. So let's go ahead and go by each artist, so they can introduce themselves. Entonces comenzamos. We'll start with Amanda.
Hi, my name is Amanda Juliana Gonzalez, and I'm the penciler for Jalisco and Ruca. And I'm an animator and artist, and I live in Long Beach, California.
Excellent. Welcome. Mirale. Okay.
Yeah, sure. I'm Mirel Ortega. I was a colorist for Jalisco, and I'm originally from Veracruz, Mexico, but now I live in Los Angeles, California. And yeah, I'm a professional illustrator. Love being here with you all.
Excellent. Gloria, ¿qué dices?
Hi, I'm Gloria Felix. I'm the colorist for Jalisco, Doquita, and Santa. And I'm also an illustrator. I'm from Michoacán. Right now I'm in Guadalajara, Jalisco. And yeah, so nice to be here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for being a part. Sandra, all good? ¿Cómo estás?
Yes, all good. I'm Sandra Romero. I'm from Central California. It's a small town, a lot of agriculture, a lot of mi gente around here. So I feel right at home. I'm the letterist and graphic designer for the A La Brava universe. And I'm kind of freelancing. And before Corona, I used to be a part-time substitute teacher. And so I'm kind of doing both of them. I'm trying to.
Yeah. Right, it's like the world before this, right?
Yeah.
And so, this actually creative force has been such a positive, huge positive impact. Here in with Texas Latino Comic Con, we've gotten a lot of on social media. You get such a amazing presence with a lot of important issues, such an empowering book like Jalisco. And I know I've come across the great pictures of fans, feeling that connection with Jalisco. Now you guys with Santa as well, and Santa's a recent project, correct, Kaden?
Yes, it just actually came out 2 days ago. I just got it in the mail, and it's funny, on the copyright page it says October, but it's okay. So I got it a couple days earlier, a few weeks early. But yeah, it's doing really, really well. She goes up against Ice, so she's obviously the Latina from here. I like to say she's from El Paso, but we call it Wexo because my family is from El Paso and Juarez, and so it's loosely, very obviously, very, very loosely based off El Paso. We call it Wexo because it is very political. And we have like the Zicas, which are the civilians, against the Luchas, which are the very conservative people in that town. So everything it's like a little bit of a parallel, if you will, but it's very fun. It does kind of, I don't want to say it takes a side, but there is a race war within the town between the Zicas and the Luchas. So you'll see like a luchador ahí, and then you'll see like the regular people, which are the Zicas. And so Santa is in the middle of it, and she learns her patriotism because of it, because of the race war in the town. It has nothing to do with necessarily immigration because everyone is already from there and living there, but it is something that very much parallels how we are today, unfortunately, like very, very unfortunately.
And so this is a question overall. So I know that Jalisco was the first project to be introduced. So how does the artistic style differ from Jalisco?
Well, with my colors, or with everybody, but with my colors, we decided to do different color tones. And so like Jalisco are very warm colors. That's the way I describe it, very warm colors. So Jalisco is reds and yellows and oranges. And this one's much more on the cooler side, right? Like they're pretty like the blues, like the purples and the pinks and the blues, right? So it's a softer and a cooler. And a lot of it is just to do the opposite. So it shows a different world, but it's just it's a different tone in itself. So you see it through a different lens than how you generally see Mexico or you generally see El Paso. You guys agree with that?
Yeah.
La portada, that's the cover. Right here.
Yeah. So that's all Gloria there. Gloria's the best. I mean, but Gloria did all that, and so definitely I cannot take credit. Everyone loves that cover.
Entonces, Gloria, en español, y el estilo de la diferencia entre Jalisco y Santa es más, es sobre la historia, o cambia el estilo sobre la historia porque o qué piensas de eso?
Sí, creo que evoluciona un poco la historia y estéticamente sí cambia mucho. Kaden me dijo así de, me gustaría que fueran colores como un poco más neones, y es un universo inventado a pesar de que está muy basado en la realidad. Así que haz lo que quieras con los colores, así vuélvete loca. Y sí, como que usé tonos mucho más saturados. Hay algunas secuencias como de sueño en las que de plano son colores así muy surrealistas. Y no sé, fue muy divertido trabajar en Jalisco y en Santa. En Jalisco trabajé con Mirel y con Adi Rivera y fue muy padre el trabajo en equipo y era mi primer crédito de colorista. Entonces aprendí mucho de ellas y ya en Santa me sirvió mucho tener esa experiencia. Sí.
So Mario, how would you, what's your perspective in this collaboration that's multinational, multicultural?
I think it's great. I think it's great. I think now with the internet, more and more we're able to do things like this. As long as everyone speaks the same language, we can communicate, we can email, we can video chat, and we can get on the same page really easily. And especially with Gloria and Addie, it was easier because we were friends. So we used to be in the same physical location. So it used to be easier. But I think now with, everything that's going on, people are now really getting used to working from different spaces, which I think has shown a lot of people that it's very possible to have part of your team in a different country. And it definitely brings a different perspective to like everything, different projects.
Oh, that's great. And so I can't, I go through the pencils, I love, growing up with comic books and historietas. And this question goes to Amanda. as a penciler, what are your influences? Like artists, art, styles, or?
Yeah, gosh. I guess, well, so I'm most passionate about animation. So like the first thing that pops into my head is Glenn Keane. Glenn Keane, Ryan Woodward, Mike Mignola. I really love, I love art that is evocative through just pencils. I've never considered myself very good with colors. I'm exploring it more, but especially just like, I'm very inspired by art that can be emotional through just like charcoal on paper.
So is it also, do you work with a digital format or just a hybrid?
I work fully digitally, and I should probably get back to charcoal at some point. I've been meaning to go to gesture drawing, but that's not really an option right now. Yeah, I'm fully digital.
Oh, excellent. So, okay, here I'm going to show you guys.
And if you click on a photo, it takes you, or each of their photos, it takes you to their site as well, if you want to.
Got it, yes. So I was clicking that.
Oh, that works too.
That's me.
Yeah, so we can see. Yeah. Amazing.
That is my Dr. Who group that I drew our Zoom call.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, it's a almost very clean, animated. It seems like it will be a very simple transition towards animation.
Mm-hmm.
Would you?
Yeah. I think my art style is always geared to that, regardless of what I'm drawing. I think just because that's kind of where I always gravitate to.
It's that sense of very dynamic flow. I like to add.
Yeah.
Right.
Very inspired by ballet.
No, of course. And Sandra, you as a member of this creative force, what brought you to be part of the team?
I think at first I was actually kind of scared to do it. I second guessed myself and I thought, no, I'm not going to be able to do this. Like, it's just not an option. But Kaden really pushed me. She said, I bet you could learn it. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a go then. So I studied comics and I realized, like, oh, what's acceptable, what's not acceptable, what's okay. And so Jalisco was my first time doing anything remotely, similar to that. So when I saw what I could do, I was really excited about it. And so that in and of itself, and then plus working with women, working with Latina women, working with people who understand what it's like to be us and to be heard and to be seen. And I really like that aspect of it as well.
Yeah, it's such a uplifting, creative endeavor. It's very positive. And so my question is to Kaden. So how did you come across, all this talent? Were you connected in a certain way to comic books, the webcomic scene, or was it through your own personal work? Because you also do, if you guys don't know, Kaden's an also amazing. You've done some indie films, right? Some short films as well.
Yeah. So I come from writing, directing background in the entertainment industry. And so for your question, how did I get into comics or how did I find everyone? I'll do the latter part. So I research a lot. I'm kind of like, like Mirel and like Sandra, like everything's online. You can literally do everything online. So I tell myself in regards to how to do a comic or a graphic novel and like the differences and just which makes more sense for what I wanted to do. And then it was just for social media because I'm huge on social media, which I shouldn't be. But like, you just do a search. And then I found Mirel and Mirel was like, I have more people on Twitter. I have people on Twitter because I had no Twitter. And so she did a search and so we got so many amazing responses from Latina artists for Latino superhero comic. And so I can say I'm very, very fortunate. But it's just the collaboration. Like if you're on the same page, then absolutely please come on board. Like we're all on the same page. We're on different spots and doing different things, of course, but we understand the bigger concept, which is what I'm looking for.
such a natural fit, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a natural fit. It's just, it flows, you know, and that's the thing of, thing about collaborations. It's all about the right fit as well as the flow of communication. And so, how are you guys able to? What is your procedures? Let's say that Kaden, you work from a script. I'm guessing, correct?
I wrote a script. Yes.
Right. And so, you work from a script. And so, do you give a sense of freedom to your artists, or is it more this panel, you know, is invoking this emotion, and so how does that conversation work?
It depends on what the artist wants. And so I give the same thing. It's communication. If they tell me I want to do my own storyboard, like Amanda, great, go do your own storyboard up to a point, you know. But that's very true. For Jalisco, I did the storyboard and their little horrible stick figures, and then Amanda had to make sure, you know, and Eva as well. They had to make sure it makes sense enough because they know obviously how to draw, and they know everything else that I do not in regards to the art style. So they make it make sense, and they have the freedom to change it within reason, you know, like they do change some angles, and that's totally fine because it's better. So I'm always amenable. And the same thing, like the letters, like Sandra does all these really crazy colors and loud everything, and like it's very fun because I don't know anything about lettering. You know, like if it makes sense, then please, absolutely, why not enhance it? Same thing with the colorist. I have no idea what they do, but they're great, right? Like I cannot do anything that they do, but they do it. And if I have a note, like put the lighting on this side, sure, you know. But they're very far and few notes that I do have on them.
Yeah, and so we just had a comment here. It's easy when you have a great leader. Would you see yourself?
Thank you.
If I can add something, I do think that Kaden pushed us all outside of our zones, because I think it was also my first credit as a colorist. And she was like, yeah, I was like, we're going to make it. I was like, okay. But I think something that was so special about the project was that is kind of us figuring it out, kind of like, you know, researching, but also kind of like finding our way to do it and which way worked better for us, which I'm a big fan of doing. So yeah, I think, I also think Kaden was a great leader in the project and in the other ones. I'm sure she's also amazing.
Thank you.
Y Laura, nos tienes unas preguntas para nuestras invitadas, ¿no?
Claro que sí. Yo tengo muchas dudas, ¿no? O sea, me llama mucho la atención
Por favor.
cómo vienen de diferentes lugares, ¿no? ¿Cómo se conocieron? Primero, ¿quién empezó con el proyecto? O sea, ¿quién dijo, yo soy así, voy a empezar a reclutar el talento? ¿O son amigas? ¿Nació esto como un proyecto personal? Y justamente ahorita que estamos en este tiempo del empoderamiento de la mujer, como que ¿Qué pretenden ahorita con su proyecto? De alguna manera es también impulsar un poco a que las mujeres puedan abrirse una brecha en este mundo que también a veces es muy competido en los hombres.
Gloria.
I'm like, is Kaden gonna tag someone?
La idea es de Kaden. Ella fue la que organizó todo y empezó todo. Y creo que Amirel fue la primera que encontró gracias a un hashtag en Twitter. Y luego ella y yo nos conocimos en la maestría en San Francisco. Allá estábamos estudiando. Y es que es mucho trabajo hacer un cómic. Una persona no puede hacer un cómic. Y ahí fue cuando me dijo, ¿te interesaría hacer color? Y también buscaron a más artistas como Amanda y el Leather y Sandra.
Sí, básicamente Kaden me dijo que si quería hacer el cómic y yo le dije, no puedo hacer un cómic todo yo. Entonces, básicamente pusimos un tweet y empezamos como a reclutar a más personas, revisamos sus portafolios y Kaden escogió a las personas que ella pensó que serían mejores para el trabajo.
Ok.
Perdón, desde el equipo que somos, o sea, Kaden siempre fue muy, quiso impulsar que fuéramos todas mujeres, que fuéramos todas latinas, porque sí, o sea, el proyecto todo es impulsar a las mujeres. Y se me hace muy padre porque todos los personajes, así Jalisco, Ruca y Santa y las que vienen, como que veo un poquito de todas nosotras en cada personaje y me gusta mucho.
And originally they were all LA as well. Even our inker for Jalisco was also everyone was LA. Now it's not as much. Now we have Jalisco. We have Eva and Gloria in Jalisco now, and then Sandra's up north. But everyone else, we're very, very central.
And you say that's very central, but you have this great this diverse cultural background. From Jalisco to you have like upcoming Ruca, Loquita as well.
Yeah.
A lot of our history. I mean, just because it's Mexico, it's had such an influence within North Mexico and in Texas and California, and so you have that blend, that border blend, and I see this border blend going for the later projects. Can you, Katie, can you talk a little bit about the Ruca?
Ruca is Maestra La Chola from Boyle Heights. I'm from Boyle Heights, and so I gave myself a superhero. And so, so that's her, Amanda. Amanda drew it amazingly. And so she comes back into town. So she makes a cameo in Santa, which is the book that just came out. And so she leaves and she ends up coming back to town, and she goes to Highland Park because it's more gentrified than Boyle Heights. And she sees how horribly gentrified it is, and we make a little, like a little knock at it. But then she's like, forget it. She sees something that happens at the Art Walk, which used to be Whittier Boulevard, back to be cruising nights, but now it's just Art Walk night. And then she's like, okay, fine, I'm going to Barrio Logan, because Barrio Logan is amazing. That's San Diego, and it's one of my new favorite places to go. And so she ends up taking down trafficking, has to do with trafficking, because they're all social justice, out there. And she sees the whole crowd there. Like, we have Vato, we have La Pachuca, we have really cool, same thing. The characters that we know from the 90s that were so stereotyped, we have them. But they're given justice, like we're not here to make fun of them or laugh at them. They're literally people, the real day people, with their real life matters, with personalities.
Yeah, I mean, empowerment.
Yeah.
Or character empowerment. Yeah, completely. And so with Ruca, what is the creative team behind?
Well, Amanda is most of my creative team behind it. So she is the penciler as well as the storyboard artist. So it is her vision more than it is my vision. It is not my vision in this one. So it's very fun to see because it's totally different and it's fun. I like it from the outside perspective because those aren't the angles, but they're very fun and pretty angles. So I like to see it, right? Because as a director, I see it in that regard. And then also Alexis. So her roommate, Chicana, also that just graduated from Laguna Beach. Yes? Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. She also just graduated. Yes.
Laguna College of Art and Design.
Sorry, Laguna College of Art and Design. They both graduated, and so she is the inker and colorist, and then Sandra is the letterist, as always.
And much respect to you, Sandra, porque I started with my own personal indie comic book. You do it. Doing it all, and it's a lot of work. When you letter yourself, you start to find a new level of respect for letterers.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And so I say we need to uplift our letterers, and then our colorists and our inkers. Sorry, pencilers. You get all the fame, and then the inker. But and so your lettering style. Do you have what draws your lettering style? Is it like culturally, or is it different letterers from the industry?
So at first I was doing a certain way with Jalisco. I think you can see it in the book itself too, because it's a learning process. I think that I like it one way, and then I'm practicing more on Photoshop. I'm practicing more on, in the art, and I realize, oh, I like this. So you'll see the art style change a little bit throughout the novel, and that's me saying, oh, I figured out how to do this. And I really like for things to pop out and grab you and grab your attention. And so to name someone specifically, I can't, but as far as art styles, I do like the classic, halftones and screen tones, and I like to implement those now that I know how to do it. But I really like things to be loud and abrasive, but in a really beautiful way. So I do put a lot of thought into it, even though it looks like, oh, I just threw something together, I do think about, oh, okay, that's going to come out. It's going to stand out. It's not going to blend in with the background, and we'll see what I can get out of this. So I like for the onomatopoeia to have a lot of personality.
It definitely shows. It's the natural, fluid. Because at point, I'm looking at it. I'm actually trying to set. I'm like, well, okay, so what programs you're using, what font? But I'm like, it's almost like, well, maybe she's doing it by hand actually, and I'm like, well, it's just very natural. It definitely makes those panels really speak and put the reader into those dynamics.
It's definitely a mixture, to answer your question. If I do it by hand or if I, use a font, it's definitely a mix of the two. Sometimes I very picky and I say, I don't want that to go over her face. So I'll erase it and make her face come in, or, I want something to stretch out rather than just be standard. So then I'll do that. So it's a mixture of the two.
Excellent. So I have Loquita here. So is Loquita a upcoming project from the team?
Absolutely. So Eva is on it. She just did Santa, and Gloria's on it as well. So a colorist. It's a returning team. We are at different stages on it. So Eva is super fast, and she's on chapter 4. Gloria is getting on it because she's doing lots of projects as well, and so so I know that, and that is fine. I'm glad she's working. Me, I'm sitting back and hanging out because that's what I do. Otherwise, same thing with letterist until we get to our turn. But yes, that is, she's our youngest. Loquita's youngest. She's a sophomore in high school, and she goes up against gun control. And so she takes place in Florida, so everything is young, everything's loud and fun and poppy. So Gloria will tell you about our color scheme in that one. Because same thing, there's fun in different worlds. You can't see the color scheme in that one, but she ends up getting more and more goth and darker because she has to fight the supernatural, and she doesn't want to at first, and she's scared of ghosts, she's scared of demons, she's scared of literally everything. And so she has a great arc because she has no choice but to go and save the people, because they're all altruistic. They'll always save you at the end of the day, no matter how scared they are. So it's fun. It's definitely fun. And that's it. That's all I'm saying.
No, and I can see a lot of potential, especially for Cuban, Puerto Rican, world descent, and so there's a lot of that mythology and the lore that I can see just from the art, and it's very vibrant, and it's something I haven't come across, especially in a Latinx comic book, and it just pops. And so I'm really excited to see where Loquita is gonna take us, especially that world, and so. Are you going to draw from the history and the mythology?
Oh, no, absolutely not. No, this is supernatural. It has nothing to do with they all have to do with brujeria, but they're not necessarily, oh, you're Santa Muerte, oh, you're da-da-da. It has nothing to do with any of that. I'm not here to say that culture per se, but why she's Boricua Cubana is because they're different parents, and the parents always fighting left and right, because it's just funny. And I needed to lighten the mood. The supernatural, if you think of a ghost or a demon, you don't necessarily say, oh, you're from this culture, you're just a ghost or you're a demon, and so it's that type of mentality. It's that. I'm not here necessarily to teach a culture. Jalisco had a little bit much more culture in it because it's Mexican, and I know that stuff, but I don't necessarily know the Caribe mythology that we were told. So I'm not going to pretend that I do.
Oh, good. Claro, nos tienes una pregunta en español.
Claro, que de alguna manera pretenden expandir su universo, no sé, o sea, por ejemplo, ahorita estamos tocando diferentes culturas, ¿no? No sé, a lo mejor en la mañana comentábamos algo sobre, a lo mejor algo mesoamericano, no sé, más como los incas o más a ese estilo. ¿Tienen planeado hacer algo así o ya su línea está muy definida y con eso se sienten ya a gusto?
For the natives, I'm gonna do actually another different series just only for Native Americans. That's my next set. Right now, La Brava is set of the 5 Latinas. Yeah, but I do want to do another one. I don't necessarily want to say what it's about yet because it's still formulated in my mind. But just Native, so just all Western Hemisphere. So we have the Canadian natives and obviously the Northern Native Americans. Okay. And everything else that goes down the line, just Western Hemisphere, of course. And so there will be their own team outside of La Brava. if I do it. But that was my next one that I wanted to get through.
So, you have this universe. So, are there plans? Has there anything been done before, Kaden, to cross over a different medium per se?
I do want to get it into a feature and an animation, whether it's animated feature or just live action feature or just TV series feature. Like wherever it lives would be amazing. I also want dolls because I like dolls, but that's just me because I like dolls. But I definitely want to see it expanded because it has a wider reach than just American, and I also want it in different languages, the books as well.
Are we going to see some of those social issues within taking more prominent role in the movies, or is it going to be more of a character-driven, slice of life per se? Or what do you think?
I would think it's the same as the books. So the books are the origin stories that have to do with the social justice issue because they have to rise above it, right? And that's how they get to where they are as their superhero. So hopefully it's the same. We'll see at the end of the day what the contract says, of course. But like I wrote the script out, we translated into color, to coloring books. To coloring and graphic novels, and then hopefully it translates back into my script. If not, someone's like, no, I'm going to write it myself. I don't know if I have that say at that time, so we'll see.
Well, it's with our new reality, in the industry, animation is actually really hot right now.
Yeah.
So you can be seeing La Brava universe really soon. You never know. And so we just gotta, you guys are delivering some amazing stories. And so my question is for each individual member, what advice do you give to an upcoming Latinx artist? I know we had some artists featured today in the Artist Alley, and so some that are just starting out. And so what advice, Kaden, do you have for them?
Me? Okay. Go and do it anyway. You're not expected to be the number one, number best. You're not expected to be the epitome of perfect, at all, because you're starting off. So just remember that, like, you practice how you play. That's a for sure thing. But it's literally, you're expected to level up, like Sandra said, like all of us said, like Jalisco is great for what it is. Could it have been better? Maybe, if we were 10 years in, sure, it absolutely should be better. Same thing with Santa, like it's just a progression. So give yourself that space and leniency. Don't be too hard on yourself. You did it. Great. Go to the next stepping stone and do better, and continue on.
All right. Gloria, ¿qué nos avisas?
¿En español?
En español, sí.
Ok. Pues que sí, como dice Kevin, que lo hagan y que no duden en pedir ayuda a gente. Ya sea, si viven en un lugar muy remoto donde no hay como comunidad creativa fuerte, métanse a Twitter, métanse a Instagram, pídanle ayuda a otros artistas. Justo ahorita está el hashtag de Latinx Create. Y ahí pueden encontrar un montón de artistas que se dedican a cosas muy diferentes y la verdad es una comunidad bien bonita y todos nos gusta ayudarnos entre todos. Así que pregunten y no se dejen llevar por estereotipos de que, no sé, o sea, no, hagan lo que quieran y sean creativos, porque siento que a veces en las familias latinas nos cuesta trabajo como que tomarnos en serio ser artistas. Y no, solo háganlo y no tengan miedo.
Bueno. Mira.
Yo creo que igual lo que dijeron Kaden y Gloria, y ahorita a lo mejor lo único que yo diría es que también pueden investigar un poco y, como decía Gloria, pueden preguntar a las personas qué es lo que hace cada persona en su rama del mundo creativo, porque, por ejemplo, yo siento que no sabía nada. Cuando empecé, es como no entendía bien cómo funcionaba la industria ni qué hacía cada parte de la industria. Y pues fui investigando y preguntando y eso siento que me ayudó mucho porque te da mucha claridad acerca de lo que quieres hacer y cuáles son las cosas que necesitas tener, las habilidades que necesitas desarrollar para poder hacerlo.
Gracias. Vamos con Amanda.
In
English, yeah. So
in English, sorry. Backing off of, I think.
We're bilingual. We go back and forth.
What I think everyone else has said, community is so important. the hashtags Latinx is great. There's Latinx in animation. I think just like connecting is really important. And then I guess for people who are just starting out, I just graduated from my college in traditional animation. So I feel like I'm kind of coming out of like an educational environment into the industry environment. And I think just keeping in mind what you're passionate about is really important, because I feel like I was taught to create magic, but people are only looking for stage magicians to like pull bunnies out of hats, because that's what people like, that's what the world can afford. So I feel like it's just really important to like keep in mind what you're passionate about, which like for me, that's 2D animation. So I am still doing that on the side for myself. And I think it's just really important to like make art that's important to you, so that you don't get too bogged down with things that, like, I think it's a very intense feeling to be like, I've been drawing for hours and hours and hours, but I haven't drawn anything. Like, that's a very new feeling to me, but I think that that's just like part of the industry. So I think just keeping in mind like the stories you want to tell is so important, and keeping
So
that
it goes to the point of having fun, right? I mean, if you're not having fun, then what truly is the point? Good.
Yeah,
Excellent. Entonces vamos con Sandra.
Yeah, so I want to say to advocate for yourself, be your biggest fan, and cheer for yourself, because you really can do it. Stop second guessing yourself whether you should or shouldn't, and just do it. So I would say that advocate for yourself. Do a little bit of research if it's going to help you, and then practice, and then do. I think that's one big way of overcoming that fear of can I or can't I. Well, why don't you just try? And a lot of what I like to tell myself is impress yourself. So sometimes if I look back at something and I say, no, I didn't impress myself, I'll do it again, and I'll try it a different way. And then I say, I did that. Oh my God. And it's like, wow, I really impressed myself. So, I mean, you're your own biggest critic, which is really hard as an artist, I feel. Because if you don't like it, then who else could possibly like it? But be a little bit easier on yourself, and recognize the work that you do and put into the work that you create, and go for it.
Oh, yeah.
¿Puedo agregar algo rápido?
Victoria.
Bueno, sí, así con todo lo que dijeron ellas, de creen, compartan lo que crean, porque a veces uno hace las cosas y no le da pena enseñar lo que hace, y no, súbanlo a sus redes sociales, súbanlo a Twitter, súbanlo a Instagram, y aunque la gente no les haga mucho caso al inicio, no importa, o sea, es como un archivo para que ustedes vean su evolución, y a alguien le va a gustar, y a alguien se va a inspirar con lo que hagan, y es bonito. Y ya.
No, totalmente. Y eso, ya sé que a veces sí nos da pena, como nosotros artistas, yo como pues, a veces somos muy introvertidos, introverted, and so it does, cost us to go that extra step and share, our work. And so, and going down, you guys come from such a diverse background as well as experiences and professional backgrounds too. What is one resource takeaway that you would like to share out? A great resource for our Latinx artists. Yes, we can just share it.
Latinx in animation, women in animation, they're both really good if you're LA based. I don't know, like outside of LA. Both of them are really, really good. They get you panels, and like you get to meet Sony, you get to meet like WJ Wag, you get to meet everybody. They're really, really good. So use their connects. Obviously, just go to learn, but like meet the people around you. Everyone is looking to hire you. Like that's why they show up in the first place. Like just pay attention to that stuff. And then, of course, Twitter, even though I hate Twitter, but Twitter for artists is good. I'm not quite sure about Instagram, and that's it. I'm not an artist, so. But
yeah.
Okay, then as a writer, right? and you come from a professional writing background, and so do you? Is there a certain, screenwriting program you used, or?
Oh, well, Final Draft. That's just the industry standard is Final Draft.
Perfect.
I learned everything online and then just reading like Sid Field. Just like you research literally everything online. They'll tell you how to do it. You start to practice until you become good. But like everything, like structure-wise and format, everything's online. Everything's at your disposal. I didn't go to film school, and so you learn on set. You learn on the job. You learn, just on your computer, your desktop. Just Final Draft though. That's what I use.
Oh, good deal. So just to wrap things up, I hate to close this, but where can we find La Brava Universe?
So on Instagram, it is at Latino Superheroes. My website is latinosuperheroes.com. And then I believe my Twitter is also Latino Superheroes, or is that my Twitter is Kaden_Phoenix. That's what it is. And that's it. But mainly the Latino Superheroes is the main one. And then Jalisco Superhero is solely for Jalisco because that was our first one. And the rest of the superheroes are on Latino Superheroes on Instagram.
Amanda, where can we find you?
I am on Instagram and Twitter, both under Amanda Julina.
And her website as well is Amanda Julina.
All right, Mirel.
So my website is mirelortega.com. I'm on Instagram as @MSMirel, and in Twitter as @Moxie_. Not good.
Gloria.
My website is gloriafelix.com, and you can find me on Twitter, Facebook, what's the other one? Yeah, Instagram as @GloriaFelixArt.
¿Y Sandra dónde? Para.
You could find me on Instagram. I'm working on my website right now, but it'll be linked to my Instagram. So my Instagram is my name, Sandy in Spanish, Arenosa, as Sand, and then Babe. So Arenosa Babe on Instagram.
Muy bien, y Laura, llévanos. En conclusión, Laura, ¿cómo vamos?
Realmente quiero felicitarlas, creo que es una labor muy, muy padre lo que están haciendo, lleno de talento, de color, de muchas cosas que van a inspirar no solamente a los chicos o a la gente que le gusta el tema de los cómics, sino a todas estas niñas que también en un futuro pues están desarrollando su talento, ¿no? Entonces, de verdad, felicidades por todo lo que están logrando y por lo que
Gracias.
All right, everyone smile. Okay. Got it. Grab.
Great. Well, it's all guys. Pleasure. So we'll be following La Brava Universe. There's a lot more to come. Nos vemos pronto.
Muchas gracias.
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 Entonces, Laura, un placer. Muchas gracias por estar con nosotros. Ya sé que
Placer.
nuestro tiempo es corto y tienes muchos más proyectos de estar, ¿verdad? Entonces, ¿dónde te podemos encontrar, Laura?
Me pueden encontrar en Facebook e Instagram como Lautrec13 y en Twitter Lautrec, así nada más. De verdad me siento súper contenta de haber pertenecido a este evento que de verdad nos acercó, ¿no? A pesar de las circunstancias que estamos viviendo, ha sido algo fantástico. No sé, una experiencia.
No, sí, tienes muchos más proyectos y estás en todo, ¿no? Y esto, la comunidad en DF es algo que nomás está creciendo, ¿verdad? Y ahorita me di cuenta que dice cómo están poniendo más atención a Latinoamérica y todo eso, ¿verdad? Entonces, vamos a ver mucho más de Laura, si Dios quiere.
Seguramente. Claro que sí.
Pues, bueno. Te dejo. Gracias.
Gracias. Bye.
Bye. All right, guys. So that concludes La Brava Universe. And, thanks again to Laura Sandoval for being our co-moderator throughout these panels. Coming up next is Kevin Garcia with the huge 20th anniversary celebration of Baldos with Hector Cantu, Carlos Castellanos. It's going to be huge. There's going to be some surprises, some really amazing insight with Carlos as the artist, and touching base with Hector Cantu with the amazing, huge celebration of Baldo. 20 years. See you guys in 14 minutes.